So a couple weeks ago, I put out a super spicy, super saucy video about my 2-month cut body transformation. It is by far my most viewed video. If you haven't seen it already, I will list it in the description. Go give that a watch. After posting that video, I got a lot of questions, a lot of comments from different people saying, Matt, how did you do that? How did you get your abs to pop out? How did you shave all that fat off? Can I get abs too? So in today's video, we're going to be going over how you can get those beautiful, beautiful abs. So I know as guys, we all want those perfect, cube little shapes, man meat, just like popping out of our stomachs, looking like they were chiseled by Michelangelo himself. You know, the kind of abs that just make all those girls go. So the big secret for this, guys, is calories. You need to stop focusing so much on doing this. And start focusing more on doing this. As I'm sure most of you have been told at some point throughout your life, you also have abs, and they're just covered by layers of this stuff. Fat. Now, in order to get those abs to like pop out, you know, really like defined and everything, you gotta shed that off. You gotta strip that shit off your abs. It's gonna make them stand out, make them look good, make all the girls go like. Alright, so let's get into it. This is Fred. We're gonna say that Fred, on an average day, burns about 2,000 calories. Yes, this is my kindergarten whiteboard. Look, you can even see a self-portrait I have. So if you take an average of Fred's typical lifestyle, right, his basal metabolic rate, his activity level, his day-to-day work life, how much he exercises, we're just gonna say on an average day he burns about 2,000 calories. So what happens if Fred decides to eat 2,000 calories, right? Beautiful, I know. Well, if his body burns 2,000 calories and he eats 2,000 calories, it's the same amount, so what's gonna happen? Fucking nothing, guys. Right? He should stay about the same. He's not gonna get super shredded off this. He's also not gonna turn into a fat monster. This is called your maintenance calories, right? If you eat this amount, you're going to stay relatively consistent, right? Assuming that you keep your day-to-day life also consistent. Okay, so now Fred has developed a little bit of a sweet tooth, right? And now he eats more like this, okay? Yeah, about 2,200 calories. Now you got this nice sugary, sweet, fatty, delicious, salty, however you want to fill it, gap right here. This surplus. This is what is known as a caloric surplus. Your body only burns this amount when you eat more. So Fred's gonna have a 200 calorie surplus, but his body only burns 2,000 calories. So where do the other 200 go? Fat. And although it might not seem like much on a day-to-day basis, right? Just maybe like an extra heaping tablespoon of peanut butter. If you do this every single day, for 1 week, 2 weeks, 2 months, a year, you're gonna get fat. But now Fred decides he's gonna eat a little bit differently. And now, instead of 2,200, he's not that hungry, so he's gonna eat 1,800 calories, right? Just call me fucking Picasso. And now what do you have? You have this nice little deficit right here, right? Probably doesn't feel so good because your body requires 2,000 calories. So your body requires those 2,000 calories to burn, but you're only giving an 1,800. So what's gonna happen? Well, if we do basic math, 2,000 minus 1,800, minus 18. Let me bust out the calculator real. You're gonna get a deficit of 200 calories, okay? Yes, that says 200. And again, although this might not seem like a lot each day, right? If you do this every single day for 1 week, for 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year, you're gonna go from looking like this to looking like this. Right? I mean, not exactly, but you get the fucking gist, guys, alright? So your body still requires those 2,000 calories, but you only ate 1,800. So where do those extra 200 come from? Fat! Just think of fat as your extra calorie storage that you've collected over time, you know, just from eating past your maintenance. It's basically just a backup reserve of calories. And so every time you eat under that calorie maintenance level, your body taps into that fat reserve and uses that as fuel. So, you do that enough, you're gonna get pretty lean. Okay, so now that you understand the basic gist of how fat loss works, I'm sure that some of you have some more questions like, what's my maintenance level? How do I find it? How many calories less than maintenance should I be eating? Do I need to use cardio? What kind of foods can I eat? So everybody's maintenance is gonna be a little bit different. Depends on your genetics, depends on your weight and daily activity and all that fun stuff. The great first number to use as a starting point is this. 15 calories per pound of body weight. So let's use Fred here as an example. Let's say he weighs 140 pounds. We're going to take his body weight and multiply it by 15. What does that give us? About 2,100 calories is going to be Fred's maintenance. Now, the only way to really verify that this is your maintenance is if you track it on a scale. So you want to track your weight a little bit more consistently for a couple weeks, making sure that it doesn't go up that much, doesn't really go down. As long as it stays about level, then you found your maintenance. Okay, so once you found your maintenance, how big should that deficit really be? A simple rule that a lot of people like to follow is 500 calories. So you take your maintenance of 2,100, in this case for Fred, subtract 500 calories, and that gives you 1,600. Now 1,600 calories is a little bit on the low side for most people. Probably going to be pretty hungry, a little uncomfortable. This is where cardio comes into play. So let's say 1,600 calories is too little for you. You're not really going to be able to function off of that. Just add in a little bit of cardio throughout the week, and that's going to make that gap a little bit bigger, right? So now you can eat more like 1,800 calories. As long as you throw in some cardio sessions, you'll still drop it down, and you'll be pretty close to that 500 calorie deficit. All right, so now in terms of what foods can you or can you not eat? Guys, a calorie is a calorie, is a calorie, is a calorie. Now, although calories will differ in macronutrient makeup from food to food, the measurement of 1 calorie is the same as the measurement of another calorie, okay? So whether that's 500 calories of ice cream, 500 calories of apples, it's still 500 calories a piece. Now, the best thing that you can do is make sure you get in adequate protein as your primary goal. I'll make a video on protein in the future on how much you should actually be eating and the debates about that, but pretty much just stick to a solid number of 1 gram per pound of body weight. So in this case, Fred would eat 140 grams of protein a day, and however many calories it took him to get there, whatever he has left over after that point, he can fill with pretty much whatever he wants. Some foods are going to be really calorie dense, right? So typically foods with high carbs or fats are going to be way more calorie dense than lean foods like protein-based foods, right? So you see typically that foods that are super high in protein are typically lower in calories. Pretty much comes down to you and personal preference as to how you want to make up that diet. Doesn't really matter how you get there, you just need to make sure that you stay in that caloric deficit for an extended period of time, and that is going to get you results. Now, although this is kind of simple, it does take consistency and patience over time, okay? You're not just going to eat super clean and do a cardio session one day and then wake up the next morning and be like, fuck man, I have like an 8-pack, oh my god, I lost 20 pounds in one night. Download a calorie tracking app of some sort, set your goal, figure out your maintenance, stick to it, and see the results. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful and slightly entertaining. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe, okay? I've got more fitness videos, more tutorials, more vlogs, more tricking videos, all that stuff coming out summer 2019. At least 1 video a week. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.